الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending the salutations upon the Messenger alayhi salatu wassalam, and upon his family, his companions, and upon all those who follow upon his guidance into the establishment of the last day. Proceed, ya ikhwan. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وربنا زدنا علما والحمد لله رب العالمين. Oh Allah, we ask that you teach us that which will benefit us and that you benefit us with that which you have taught us, and that you increase all of us upon knowledge. Verily all praise belong to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. ونواصل مع أخينا في الله أبي أيوب في هذه السلسلة في الدروس النحوية. So we continue these series of classes with our beloved brother Abu Ayub from the book الدروس النحوية, Lessons in the Arabic Grammar. ولعل هذا الدرس الثاني, and perhaps this is class number 2. طيب, وصلنا إلى أي صفحة? We reach what page? لا نزال في الباب الأول. We're still in the first chapter. أقسام الفعل. جميلة. طيب, فكنا متكلمين عن أقسام الفعل. So the last benefit we had the honor to obtain was أقسام الفعل. أقسام الفعل. فما هو أقسام الفعل? So what are the categories of الفعل, the verb? نعم, تفضل.
الماضي والمضارع والأمر.
ما شاء الله, أحسنت. طيب, أما أقسام الفعل فهو كما قال أخونا حفظ الله تعالى. So the categories, they are just as our brother mentioned. I love you. طيب, أقسام الفعل يا إخوان ثلاثة. أقسام الفعل ثلاثة. Categories of verbs, they are 3. Categories of verbs, they are 3. Categories of verbs, they are 3. الماضي والمضارع والأمر. The past tense verb, the present tense verb, and the verb. الماضي, المضارع, الأمر. الماضي, المضارع والأمر. الماضي, المضارع, الأمر. The past tense, the command, and the present tense. فتوقفنا عند هذا الباب. So we stop at this. The command, the present, and الماضي. طيب, قال بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والفعل ينقسم إلى ثلاثة أقسام. The verb in the Arabic language is derived or divided rather into three categories. ماض, مضارع, وأمر. The past tense, the present tense, and the command form. قال نحو كتب. He said like the verb كتب. ما معنى كتب يا أبا أيوب? What's the meaning of the word كتب? كتب, he wrote or to write. كتب or to write. He wrote or to write. ومضارع, and the present tense نحو يكتب, like the verb يكتب في الماضي في المضارع عفوا, in the present tense يكتب, he writes, or you can say he is writing. He writes, or you can say he is writing. في الحال أو في حال, meaning currently, presently. وأمر نحو اكتب, and the command form, like if you were to command someone to write and you say to them اكتب, اكتب, right. هذا في الأمر, so this is in the command, this is in the command. وهذا أقسام الأفعال, so these are the categories of verbs. ماض ومضارع, our sister says right. أحسنت. Alia joined us, she says he is writing, to write. نعم أحسنت. وأمر, and the command اكتب. طيب اقرأ يا أبا أيوب, read the next passage.
وكذا كأن جميع الكلمة تنحصر في ثلاث أنواع:
Good.
فعل واسم والحرف. وأوضحنا لك أن كل لفظ يدل على وصول شيء وزمانه ويسمى الفعل.
جميلا. So our brother recites, as the author, he says, it has preceded, or it has preceded you, meaning in the earlier lessons, that all of the words, meaning the Arabic words, they are confined or restricted into three types. فعل, واسم, وحرف. A verb, a noun, and a particle. He says, and we have clarified for you. طيب كلمة جديدة, a new word يا إخوان. اكتبوا هذه الكلمة. Write down this word here. أوضح. أوضح. To clarify, to make something clear. أوضح. أوضح. To make something clear. أوضح. To make clear. Or you can say no. أوضح. To make clear, or he clarified, to make something clear. يا إخوان نكتبها 25 مرة. Every new word in this series here, as we always remind, we write our new words 25 times. If the word is new to you, write it 25 times. أوضح means Bayyana, you can say that. To make clear, to clarify, to clarify. Bayyana. Bayyana. Why is it doing that, ikhwan? Yeah. No. I'm trying to write this shadda or the yeah. It's not allowing me to for some reason. Ba, yeah, nah. So the ba has a fatha. I'm trying to write the shadda over the yeah, but it's not allowing me to for some reason. Alright, so when you write it in your notes, the yeah has a shadda. Yeah has a shadda. It's not allowing me to, yeah, for some reason. Bayyana. The ya, there's a shadda over that ya. Bayyana, to make clear. So he says, and we have made clear for you, meaning the author has made it clear for you, the reader, the student, and kulla lafdhin, that every word, every expression that points ala husuli shay. Now this is a fancy way to define a verb. Ala husuli shay'in wa zamanih. Every expression that points to something happening, something taking place, and the time it took place in. If you find these two things, that thing is a verb. فالفعل ما يدل على حصول الشيء وزمنه. And he mentioned a fancy way to define a verb. تعلمنا هذا. We learned that last week or the week before. He says الفعل, the verb, is ما يدل على حصول شيء وزمنه. Two things regarding the verb. The verb points to two things. يدل على حصول شيء. It points to something happening, something taking place. زمنه, and the time it took place in. على حصول شيء. عفوا, should be سكون. على حصول شيء وزمنه. That which point to something happening, taking place, and its time, meaning it's in, meaning the time that it took place in. إذا الكلمة تدل على هذين الشيئين فهي فعل. If the word, no matter what the word is, it points to these two things, then that word is a verb. If the word points to these two things, then that word is a verb. طيب, واصل. Continue يا أبا أيوب.
والفعل ينقسم إلى ثلاثة أقسام.
Good.
ماض ومضارع وأمر.
So the verb, once again, is divided into categories. Madin, the past, wa mudari'in, the present, wa amrin, and the command. تفضل.
فالماضي ما يدل على وصول شيء في زمان ماض.
مضى في زمن مضى.
عفوا زمان مضى. نحو كتب ودحرج انطلق واستخرج.
Excellent. So he says, as for the madi, the past tense is what, or that which points to something happening in the past. It points to something happening and it took place in the past. في زمن مضى. in a time that already happened, in a time that already elapsed, it already passed. Like kataba, to write or he wrote. Wadahraja, to roll. Wantalaqa, to go. Wastakhraja, to derive. طيب. عندنا كلمة جديدة ثانية. The second new word tonight is dahra. Dahraja. Dahraja means to roll. Roll something. Not you roll. Roll something. A ball. To roll. To roll. Not you roll. Not you do a roll. La. You roll something. Dahraja. To roll. Intalaqa means to go, to proceed, to disperse. انطلق. Our Shaykh in Yemen في نهاية الدرس كان يقول فانطلقوا فانطلقوا. So our Shaykh in Yemen حفظ Ta'ala, at the end of the classes he would say فانطلقوا فانطلقوا, go, go, leave, disperse. انطلق. انطلق, to go, to leave, to disperse. No. انطلق, to go, to leave, this. No. عندنا طيب استخرج means to derive or to take something out. استخرج to take out. استخرج to take out or to derive. To extract will be a good one. To extract. No. No. طيب فبين الآن أوضح المؤلف ها هنا معنى الماضي. So the first definition of tonight, the author clarifies for us, he illustrates the meaning of the past tense verb, al-madi. And he says it in a fancy way. His definitions are in this book, ya ikhwan. He's saying the same thing that most of the grammarians are saying in an eloquent way, in a more eloquent way. His definitions are more eloquent than in the definition of Ajurumiyya, also in Nahw Wadih. His definitions are a little more eloquent. نفس المعنى, same meaning, ولكن كلامه أفصح والله أعلم. But his speech is more eloquent, more beautiful. In Allah knows best. So he has الماضي. اكتبوا هذا. Write this down يا إخوان. تعريف الماضي. Definition of الماضي. تعريف الماضي. Definition of الماضي. تعريف يا سلام. تعريف الماضي. He says ما يدل على حصول شيء في زمن مضى. Same meaning. نفس المعنى, just a more eloquent way. ما يدل على حصول شيء في زمن مضى. In a time that passed. Meaning in the past tense. So you're going to write ما يدل على حصول شيء في زمن مضى. that which points to something happening في زمن مضى, in a time period that passed away, in a time period that elapsed, that already passed. تعريف الماضي ما يدل على حصول شيء في زمن مضى. نعم أحسنتي. طيب وتعارف تكتب عشرا. In our definitions, we're going to write 10 times. Our new words, 25. Our definitions, 10 times. طيب واصل. Continue يا أخي.
والمضارع ما يدل على حصول شيء في الحال
Okay.
أو الاستقبال
Okay.
نحو يكتب ويدحرج
Okay.
وينبغي
Okay.
ويستخرج
Okay.
ولا بد أن يكون مبدوءا بالألف أو نون أو ياء أو تاء.
MashaAllah, accent. So he says, as for the mudari', as for the present tense verb, the mudari' is what points to something happening either in the current time or in the future. In the current time or in the future. Like yaktubu, he is writing. وَيُدَحْرِجُ, he is rolling. وَيَنْطَلِقُ, he is leaving. أو يستخرج, or he is deriving or extracting or taking something out. ولا بد أن يكون مبدوءا بألف, or he says بألف, should be ألف أو نون أو ياء أو تاء. And it's a must. The مضارع, it's a must that it starts either with an alif or noon or ya. The مضارع is going to start. Our sister says, is the screen on the YouTube? Yes, it should be broadcasted there. You can check the YouTube, it should be there. فذكرتين اثنتين مباركتين تتعلقان باللغة العربية. So he brings two tremendous points that are connected to the Arabic language. الأول, number one, تعريف المضارع. Our second definition of tonight. وبهذا, write this down يا إخوان. تعريف المضارع, definition of the present tense verb. Definition of the present tense verb. There should be a dhamma. المضارع. Definition, or you can say the meaning of the present tense verb. تعريف الثاني لليلة. Second definition of tonight. تعلمنا الماضي. الآن نتعلم المضارع. We learned the past tense already, the ماضي. Now we're on the مضارع. He says, ما يدل على حصول الشيء. That which points, they are going to point. يدل على حصول شيء. The verb has to point to two things. على, there should be an ayn. على حصول شيء الحال أو الاستقبال أو المستقبل. He says الاستقبال. You can say it two ways. الاستقبال. First part of this benefit is this definition. ما يدل على, that which points to something happening, something took place الحال either in the present either in the present في الحال أو في الاستقبال. Now the مضارع can take place in two time periods. It can either take place currently in the present, or it can take place in the future. فانتبهوا هنا, so pay attention there. The مضارع قد يدل على أحد وقتين. So the مضارع can point to one of two time periods. في الحال in the present, or in the مستقبل in the future. So pay attention there. So the مضارع is what points to something happening or something taking place either in or in the future. That's a tremendous benefit. Mudari can take place in the hal, in the present. It can also take place in the istiqbal, in the future. So pay attention there. وللمستقبل توجد كلمتان. And regarding the word future, you can say two words. You can say المستقبل, المستقبل, and you can say الاستقبال, الاستقبال, two words for the future. You can say المستقبل. You can say الاستقبال. They both have the same meaning. المستقبل, which is sukoon over the qaf that I can't write. There's a sukoon over the qaf. المستقبل. I don't know why it does that sometimes with the fonts. الاستقبال. They both mean the future. So two words for the future, you can use al-mustaqbal and you can use istiqbal. As for the madari', it can take place in two time periods, al-hal in the present, or al-mustaqbal, or in the future. يدل على حصول شيء في الحال أو في الاستقبال. Now, the مضارع, the present tense verb, can take place in the present. Now, the present tense verb points to something happening, and it can happen in the present, and it can also happen in the future. And then he mentioned the second benefit, ولا بد أن يبدأ أو أن يكون مبدوءا بالألف أو بالياء أو بالنون أو بالتاء. And the مضارع is always going to start with one of four letters. Always. In every example you can mention. That's another benefit. The مضارع is going to start يكون مبدوءا بألف أو تاء أو تاء أو ياء أو نون. So the mudari is always going to start with one of these letters. In every example, يكون مبدوءا. should be همزة. Where's my همزة يا إخوان؟ طيب مبدوءا بألف أو تاء أو ياء أو نون. It's either going to start with an alif, it's going to start with the ta, it's going to start with the ya, or it's going to start with the noon. Alif or a ta or ya or noon in every example. طيب نواصل. Let's continue. تفضل يا أخي.
والأمر ما يصرف به حصول شيء نحو اكتب وتحرج وانطلق واستخرج.
جميلا. So he says, and the command ما يطلب به حصول الشيء. The command form is what points to the obtaining of something or the taking place of something is requested. You're requesting from someone or something to do something. So it's just not something being done. No, there's a request there. There's a request for something to be done. Like uktub, when you're commanding someone to write. Wadahrij, you're commanding someone to roll something. Wantaliq, you say to someone, intaliq, that's the command. Go. You're commanding him to go. You're requesting him to do something. فَفِي الْأَمْرِ لَا بُدَّ مِنْ الطَّلَبِ. So the command, there has to be a request. If it's not a request, there's no command. طيب اكتبوا هذا. Write this down يا إخوان. الأمر طيب الأمر command form. So now we have تعريف الأمر. تعريف الأمر. Definition of the command. Command form of the verb. ما يطلب به حصول الشيء. It's a nice fancy way to say it. ما يطلب به حصول شيء. So there's a request for something to take place, for something to happen, for something to be done. There's a request though. It has to be a request. ما يطلب به حصول شيء. So with this command, there's a request for something to be done. that which points to a request for something or of something to take place, to happen. Our brothers, our sister says an easy way to remember is the letters unaitu, the mudari', naam, alif, ta, ya, and nun, unaitu, or anitu. Ahsant. Let's continue, ikhwan. We'll go over the homework at the end, or we mention the homework at the end, inshallah. Next page is the homework. We'll say that. Next point. قال أقسام الاسم. Now we have the categories of a noun. أقسام الاسم. هنا لا يقصد المؤلف كل قسم من أقسام الاسم. Now pay attention here. The author, he does not mean all of the categories of a noun. He's mentioned some of them, from them. So this part here is not like the verb. There are many categories of nouns. These are from them. طيب. المذكر والمؤنث. Two new words. المذكر والمؤنث. The masculine and the feminine. المذكر والمؤنث. So we're going to write, we're going to change this. We're going to say min أقسام الاسم. We're going to add the word min. Because there are more categories of a noun. These are some of them. Min أقسام الاسم. From the categories of a noun. We're going to change it slightly. From the types or categories of the noun. So we're going to change it slightly. He does not intend all of the categories of a noun. These are from them. Our next new word, al-mudhakkar. Only if it's new to you. Any word that's new to you, write it. Add it to your vocabulary. Al-mudhakkar. Al-mudhakkar. The masculine. Al-mudhakkar. The masculine. Al-mudhakkar. You can also say dhakar. And al-mu'annath. Al-mu'annathu. We have al-mudhakkaru and al-mu'annathu. Al-mu'annathu. No. The feminine. Al-mu'annathu. The feminine. So if these words are new to you, ikhwan, we're going to write them 5 times. Every new word, add it to your vocabulary. Grab your notebook and write it 25 times. Al-mudhakkar, al-mu'annath. طيب تفضل يا أخي. Good. So the noun is divided into 2 types. تفضل. Good. 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 Good.
وكرات
Good. So
جرة
حرة. Now take your alif away. حرة.
جرة
So the mudhakkar and the mu'annath. The mudhakkar is like the word, the male name Ali, like Jamal, a camel, like Hisan, a horse. Wa mu'annath, like Aisha, the name Aisha, it's a feminine name. Wa naqa, the female she camel. Wa hirra, hirra is a cat, a small cat. I think I just lost the people. 1 second, ya ikhwan.
You will now be placed. There are 2 participants in the conference. Please announce yourself.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I just saw we have our brother Ibrahim with this also. Assalamu alaikum, ya Ibrahim.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Hey, how are you, akhi fillah?
الحمد لله.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. I don't know what happened, ya ikhwan, but I lost you guys, so I had to dial back in. So the word hirra. Hirra is a cat. You can say a small cat. Hirra. No. Hirra. Hirra. Right, وهرة مؤنثة. Hirra is a feminine word. طيب. قال علمت أن الكلمة 3 أنواع. He says we have learned, or you know now, talking about the reader, that the word, meaning the Arabic word, they are divided into 3 types. فعل واسم وحرف, a verb, a noun, and a particle. وأن الفعل 3 أنواع. And you also know now, Allahu Akbar, that the verb is also divided into 3 types. ماض ومضارع وأمر, the past tense, the present tense, and the command form. فَعَلَمْ الْآنَ أَنَّ الْإِسْمَ نوعان. So know now that the noun, وعليكم السلام, that the noun is of 2 types. Now once again, here, he doesn't mean only 2 types. There are many types of noun. He's speaking generally. From the types of noun, every noun can either be masculine or feminine. So this is from the categories. طيب. تفضل يا أخي. Ibrahim, you can read the next one, inshallah. تفضل.
Me or Ibrahim?
Ibrahim can read the next definition. inshallah.
أي نعم.
تفضل.
مذكر
Make your dhamma a fatha or your kaf.
مذكر.
Good.
صح.
أي نعم صح.
وهو كل اسم دل على ذكر.
Good.
مثل علي وحسين
Good.
وجمل
Good.
وأهل
Good.
وحصان وحمار وهر.
Good. طيب. So he says the mudhakkar, masculine. Then he brings a definition of the masculine. Kullusmin, every noun. Dalla ala dhakar, that points to a male. Or every noun that points to something being masculine is mudhakkar. So write this down, ya ikhwan. طيب. Every noun. So now we have the definition. There's a lot of definitions in grammar. One of the difficult parts of grammar is like usul al-fiqh. It's like mustalah al-hadith. There's a lot of definitions in grammar. And this is one of the most difficult parts. There's a lot of memorizing, but not just vocabulary, definitions. So now we have ta'rif al-mudhakkar, the meaning of masculine. Ta'rif al-mudhakkar. What does it mean when you say mudhakkar? So it says kullu ismin, every noun, yadullu ala dhakar. Oh, dhakarin. Every noun that points to a male, that something is masculine. Doesn't have to be male. Something masculine. Kullu ismin yadullu ala dhakarin. Every noun has to be a noun. Every noun that points to a male, or you can say that the thing is masculine. Doesn't have to be a male, it could be a thing. It can be something abstract. So it could be masculine, not be a male. طيب. تفضل يا إبراهيم, you read the next definition inshallah.
نعم. ومؤنث وهو كل اسم دل على أنثى.
Good.
مثل عائشة
Good.
وفاطمة وعزيزة
Good.
والناقة والبغلة وحمارة
Good.
وحيرة.
Good. Ahsant. So the next definition he says, mu'annath, the feminine, is every noun, has to be a noun, that points to the feminine, or that the thing is feminine. It points to a female, or you can say, if it's an object, that the thing is feminine. So these definitions are aysar, a little easier. Ma dalla ala dhakar. All you have to remember is what points to a masculine. That's mudhakkar. Wa ma dalla ala untha. And what points to a feminine is the mu'annath. So our last definition of tonight, inshallah, we're going to write تعريف المؤنث. تعريف المؤنث. تعريف عفوا المؤنث. Where's my wow? طيب. تعريف المؤنث. So you're going to write, as he says, كل اسم. He mentions every noun, but you understand he's talking about a noun, as he mentioned the categories of nouns. So that's understood. كل اسم يدل على أنثى. على أنثى. طيب. Every noun that points to a feminine. Let's say a female. But there's a sukoon over the noon. There's a sukoon over the noon. You're going to write every noun that points to a female or that the thing is feminine. فعندنا عدة تعاريف وبعض كلمة جديدة. So tonight we have a nice amount of definitions and we have a few new words. Our sister says تعريف المؤنث كل اسم يدل على أنثى. نعم. Sorry. Arsenti. طيب. He says like the word or the name Aisha. That name points to a female. Like the name Fatima. كذلك يدل على أنثى. It points to a female. وعزيزة. The adjective عزيزة. She's عزيزة. She's honorable, noble. وناقة. The female camel or the female she camel, feminine. وبغلة. And the bagal is the female mule. وحمارة. The himara, the female donkey. May Allah bless you all. وهرة. And the female cat. So you have the hir and the hirra. A cat can be masculine or feminine. A donkey can be masculine or feminine. A horse can be masculine or feminine. If it's a masculine horse, hisan. A female horse, hisana. A male cat, hir. A female cat, hirra. No. طيب. واجبات الدرس. The homework of tonight's class. Ibrahim, I'll send you the book also, inshallah, to your email, so you can have it also. Inshallah. Homework. So when you get the book, write this number down. Page 13. As we mentioned to Abu Ayyub a few weeks ago, the reason a lot of the students don't finish this book is like Nahwadih. It's a nice size book, but it's a lot of exercises, a lot of questions for homework that many of the students don't complete. This is one of the reasons that people don't finish the likes of this book. There's a lot of repetition and it's a lot of homework. But if you be patient, you can benefit tremendously. So the 6 questions or 5 questions we're going to use for homework. We're going to read them to make sure everyone understands what's the assignment. طيب قال تمرين exercise. Question number 1. إلى كم قسم ينقسم الفعل. You're going to write how many types of verbs are there, or the verbs are divided into how many types. Number 2. بماذا تميز الماضي من المضارع والأمر؟ ما شاء Allah. That's a good question, ya ikhwan. He says, with what is the past tense verb distinguished from the present tense verb and the command? So what I want you to do is memorize the definitions first. If you understand them, you got it. He's just saying it in a fancy way. What's the difference between them? Between the past tense verb. How is it different? Number 3. عين الماضي والمضارع والأمر من هذه الأفعال. Now this is one of the best drills you can do. Identify in the following verbs which verbs are past tense verbs, which verbs are present tense verbs, and which verbs are command form verbs. الرابعة, number 4. عد 10 أفعال من كل نوع. Now this one is lengthy, so take your time with number 4. It says عد 10 أفعال من كل نوع. طيب. So I want you to write on your paper, like we did last time. Abu Ayub, you're going to write. طيب. You're going to write الماضي. And then 10 past tense verbs. Then you're going to write المضارع. And then mention 10 past tense verbs. You're going to write al-amr. And mention 10 command form verbs. That's it. That's number 4. And the last one looks like a lot. He says, عين الأفعال بأنواعها والأسماء والحروف من هذه العبارة. So number 5, all I want you to do is write down each expression, and then you're going to mention what word is the verb, which word is a noun, which word is a particle. So it looks like a lot, but not really. You just write it, and then you can write, for example, you can write it the same way. You can write the phrase القمر يستفيد النور من الشمس. طيب. القمر يستفيد النور من الشمس. طيب. So you write down the phrase, and then once again you're going to write الفعل الاسم الحرف. And then you're going to break the sentence down. The verbs go under the verbs, the nouns go under the nouns, and the particle goes under the particle. That's it. So you're going to write al-qamar, whatever type of word al-qamar is going to go under its category. Yastafidu, whatever type of word yastafidu is, goes under its category. وهكذا. So there are 3 phrases there. You're going to do the same thing for each phrase. Write down the phrase, and then you're going to write each word. You're going to chop it down. This is one of the best ways to practice from grammar, is being able to identify not the meaning of a word. That's not really grammar. What type of word it is. And then later on, what's the function in the sentence. Grammar is not really about the translation of a word. No, that's when you're translating. But if you can mention what type of word is it? Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it a particle? That's from grammar. And then later on, you're going to be able to identify what's its function, if it has a function. Not every word has a function. So that's the homework for tonight. There's 3 sentences or 3 phrases. They're sentences. And then you do that for each one of the 3. That looks like a lot, but not really. You're just going to identify which type of word it is, inshallah ta'ala. And I'll send you the book Ibrahim right after the class, inshallah. And may Allah bless you both, ya ikhwan. We'll stop there, inshallah. Wa subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. And I'll talk with you brothers soon, inshallah. This class here with our brother Abu Ayub that he set up is going to be on Friday. It's going to be on Thursdays and Sundays. And then later on, we're going to try our best to add some more. But right now, it's just Thursday nights. It may be on the late night, if that's okay for everyone. About this time,
Yeah, that's fine.
8:30 will be perfect. After everything that we do here, probably about 8:30 or so. Thursday evenings and Sunday evenings, inshallah. No, may Allah
Yeah,
bless.
that's it.
Tfadal ya akhi.
If the brother Ibrahim wants to exchange information or on Facebook, I can reach out to him on Facebook.
Oh, that'll be perfect.
Inshallah, we could review with each other throughout the week.
That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, nah.
What I'll do is, inshallah ta'ala, if it's okay, both of you, I'll text each other your numbers, and then you guys can establish contact. Alhamdulillah, that'll be awesome. Yeah, we need more of that, where the students and the brothers and sisters come together and establish a day to review and to read on each other. Allahu Akbar. That's going to help in your development or development of seeking knowledge. That's going to help tremendously. No. May Allah bless you all, ya ikhwan. And then y'all can come together. Arabic is Thursday and Sundays. Now, so this is going to be our grammar here. So this is going to be on Thursdays and Sundays at 8:30. So it's going to be on the late night on Thursdays and Sundays, inshallah ta'ala. Right? And also, inshallah. Fadli Ibrahim.
You said the grammar is Thursdays and Sundays?
Thursdays and Sundays, yeah, at 8:30. Inshallah. No.
Public class on Mondays and Wednesdays?
Now that's just we still have our other Arabic class. This is something that we just started with the brother Abu Ayub. So we just kind of began this one. This is actually the second class. So we still have the other Arabic Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. The focus here is just on grammar. And also Saturday we start our new book, inshallah.
After so Mondays and Wednesdays, the time is 7.
On Mondays and Wednesdays, the time is at 7. Yeah, 7 p.m. So we pray Isha, and then we give the people a little time after we pray. So we usually start up right after prayer. And then on Saturday, 3 o'clock. Inshallah. And may Allah bless you all, ya ikhwan. No. So we'll stop there, inshallah. May Allah bless you all. وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.